What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Mixed Reaction Super Bowl week. I am pumped. I am here. I'm Casey Merritt, joined along with my fellow co-host Ian Blackwell, who resides in Vegas, everyone. Ian, how are you? How's the city? And are you ready for the Super Bowl?
Hold on, Casey. Let me turn this mic on. Don't think for a second I'm going to let you get away with that song. This bitch is out here in thongs, about to get dirty. My prediction 49ers by 30. Let's get started. And that's not my actual prediction. We'll break down the actual picks later on. It is an incredible atmosphere out here this week, man. We're expecting 450,000 visitors. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Las Vegas. We have pretty big events from time to time. Electric Daisy Carnival. We had that huge F1 race, which, as far as I might be mistaken, but the impact to the city and just the fact they had to build a fucking racetrack on the strip, a lot of people were saying that's bigger. And I'm saying you could wipe my left ass cheek with my right ass cheek. This is the Super Bowl. CBS Sports Stage is set up on the strip. I'm fucking ready to talk football. I'm ready to go out here and see all these undercover prostitution stings. Why don't we go ahead and talk about the two teams that are in it? Let's go ahead and break down the fucking game. Fuck that. Let's
Let's
go.
break it down, dude. So we got obviously once again representing the AFC, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs heading against their other formidable matchup here, a Super Bowl rematch between Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, obviously we have our pick segment. We're definitely going to do that. What we're going to do first is we're kind of just going to dive into the game itself a little bit. Not really what we expect, who we expect to win, but things that we can expect throughout the course of the game. What a win would mean to each individual team, to players, the Taylor Swift effect. We're going to dive into it all. And so, Ian, outside of the Super Bowl, I know we talked about this the other day. You said your favorite part is the media day. And I love the media day too. Did you happen to see during the course of the press conferences yesterday where Kansas City was getting outright booed? There is a lot of Niners fans during these presentations right
Oh
now,
shit.
and it's fueling a lot of the fire right now. This is just making the game that much more exciting. I'm pumped up for this. I think this is going to be one of the most entertaining Super Bowls we've had in a while. And
Yeah, for sure.
there's a lot that we can expect in this game, of course. You know, there is so much to this atmosphere. This is becoming a deep rivalry in the NFL now. We're really, really
Yeah,
going to
for
start
sure.
seeing these teams a lot more, I feel. It looks like San Francisco finally found the quarterback that they're going forward with. Of course, there's been so much talk about Brock Purdy. He stepped up time and time again throughout the
Fuck yeah,
course of the
especially against
season.
Detroit. Especially
Absolutely
against
against
Detroit.
Detroit. That I thought that game was done and over with. Of course, we didn't do a show last week, so we didn't have a chance to talk about that. I thought that game was done and over with at halftime, and San Francisco, no pun intended, roared back to beat the Lions. Of course, Kansas City got the job done against Baltimore. There was no shock there. I think this is going to be a very entertaining Super Bowl. I think this is going to turn the page in a lot of conversations. I'll get to that point later. I'm not going to dive too much into that at the moment,
Right.
but I really think we're in for a great one. I can't imagine how electric it is in Vegas right now. I know you were joking saying you can't wait to catch all the
I
prostitution stings. I
wasn't
get where you're
joking.
I gotta say, I know you were half joking, half not, so I get where you're coming from in that aspect. But let me ask you this. Let's dive right into the sports aspect of it. This is a sports show. What would a win for Kansas City mean for the legacy of Patrick Mahomes to you?
Right, yeah, and I think that is going to be this would be his third Super Bowl if Kansas City does win.
Third
I
win,
think it
fourth appearance.
fourth appearance, yeah, and the only time he lost was to arguably the GOAT, Tom Brady. I think this would do tons for the for Patrick Mahomes. Third Super Bowl. This is his seventh season in the league. Am I correct?
Sixth season
Sixth,
as a starter, though, and
sixth,
he's
right?
been to
Because he
six
still was
AFC
behind
title
Alex Smith,
games.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that it would be okay. Because before we start that, where would you put Mahomes as far as all-time QB? Like right now, based on accomplishments, I'd say he's what
Right
five,
now.
six.
But yeah, about in that area. Well, let me ask you this. Let's play a little game. We haven't done this
Mhm.
on mixed reactions. We're going to play Mahomes or. So I'm going to call it Mahomes or. Say Mahomes win this Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes or John Elway?
We played what fucking 19 years?
He
What,
played 19 years,
four,
won 2 rings.
he went to like 5 Super Bowls, I think. Or no, he lost 3, won 2, or lost 2,
Correct.
won 2. Okay. Oh, we're playing Patrick Mahomes or dude, that you started out with a tough one. Fuck. Give me Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers.
Give me Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning?
With a Mahomes win, correct?
With a Mahomes win.
Peyton Manning broke so many records, bro. I mean, obviously, when they beat Carolina in the Super Bowl, he was essentially carried by that defense, but he was so. I don't fucking know, man. That's a tough one, bro.
And this is where the conversation comes to kind of, is it the rings that officially matter? And I'll break down why.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. The asking Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning, yeah, that absolutely is the I guess not the example, but yeah, not the standard, but that's where you start to right. That's where you start to see like, okay, how much do rings really matter? You know, Peyton has 2, he went to 3. Mahomes will have went to 4 and won 3. Manning played fucking what, 17 years, 18 years,
16,
something like
that. Yeah, somewhere in there. 16, 17, 18. He was from 98 to 05, 2015.
I mean, bro,
17.
I'm not enough of a prisoner of the moment to say if Mahomes has an amazing game, I would put him above Manning. Kind of almost more.
But he's in that echelon, right?
Yeah, I guess he's in that echelon.
It becomes to a point where it's a conversation.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. I would pick him over Elway. As much as I love Rodgers, and Rodgers has, just arguably one of the most talented, if not the most talented quarterback ever. I think, but they're right there with each other. I think he wins the conversation over Rodgers. Even though Elway did tons, I think he's over Elway, and I think if he wins this Super Bowl is when the conversation starts. But I don't think if he wins this Super Bowl, you can say, hey, he's better than Peyton Manning. He has 3 rings. Because like you said, that's where it's going to kind of balance out.
It would still be tough to put him over the Mannings or the Montanas of the world. And we certainly wouldn't put him in Brady's caliber yet. However, let me break it down to you like this. Because there's a huge notion, and this is around sports worldwide, that rings are the only thing that matter, not the circumstances surrounding the rings. And let me break down this point by saying this. Patrick Mahomes in his 2 Super Bowl wins so far, right? And I got a couple stats I'm going to throw at you, so just bear with me, okay?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes in his 2 Super Bowl wins so far, the defense through their playoff runs, both times averaged allowing 25 points, okay? Now, I'm going to follow that up with a question of this. How many times through Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowl wins do you think his defense allowed 25 points per game?
Give me a second. I'm just trying to think of each year. Yeah. Once?
0. Out of his 7 Super Bowl rings, his defense never allowed more than 25 points. So does that weigh into the factor that Patrick Mahomes was doing it with a considerably lesser defense than what Tom Brady was playing with during his heyday? Now, of course, again, we can break it down like this. Patrick Mahomes has already had 10 playoff games where his passer rating, or 9 playoff games where his passer rating has been above 110. How many times do you think Tom Brady's had a playoff game with a passer rating above 110?
Once, the Super Bowl against the Eagles.
He's done it 10 times, which is phenomenal. That's great.
Oh, shit. I was fucking off. Yeah.
No, but that's okay. That's fine. But that's only one more time than Mahomes has done it, and he's only 6 years into his career. And, of course, if you want – I'm not saying that, with this win, he's going to be ahead of Tom Brady. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is – he is well on his way to that echelon status if his career continues like this. However, the counteract to that is his defense has been phenomenal this year. And so if they win the Super Bowl this year, and if they win a few more, like 2 more rings, but it plays out more like this season has.
With the defense kind of running the show.
With the defense kind of running the show, I'm not saying that it would diminish Patrick Mahomes as a player, but it would diminish his argument for the GOAT status. Because if you look at Tom Brady's career throughout his career, it seemed that he got better as time went on. Through his first 3 Super Bowls, nobody thought Tom Brady was the best quarterback in the league. Everyone said it was Peyton Manning. Then it became Aaron Rodgers. And then there was only a few certain moments in his career where people actually considered Tom Brady the best quarterback in the NFL. They always said he's the most clutch. They always says he has I trust him with the game on the line. '07 is probably the only definitive year where he's been the best quarterback in the league. But that's not what this is about. This is going back to the rings and the accomplishments as a whole debate. And so what you really need to take the whole picture into this argument here, Ian. And my point is, I don't believe Mahomes would need 7 rings to catch up to Brady the GOAT. I don't think that. There's a lot of people that do, and because they're so biased when it comes to the ring status. But when you're talking about what I just brought up to you here, where Brady never had a defense that allowed 25 or more, Mahomes has done it twice. He's already just 1 game behind him in passer rating for 110 for a playoff game. There's so much more that he's accomplishing, and if you take the first 6 years of the career, Mahomes is miles ahead of Brady. If he can continue on this arc, I think there's a true argument that can be made. He might be chomping at Brady's ankles in a couple of years here at that GOAT conversation, if they win.
Oh, yeah, and then here's another thing to consider as well. Brady won back-to-back Super Bowls once. When he beat the Panthers
during the first run, they won 3 out of 4.
Mm-hmm. Right. If Mahomes wins this year, that'll be 2 in a row. If they win next year, nobody's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. Matter of fact, nobody's ever even been back to the Super Bowl a third time after winning 2 in a row. But no, I'm 100% with you. I think, is Mahomes just the most amazing quarterback I've ever seen, just with the shit he can do?
Yes.
Yeah. And the next
no
question would be Rodgers, easily.
Yeah.
And then Dan Marino, just with his pure arm talent, But as far as just looking at it, Mahomes. I personally, if he, because he's done so much already, if he does win 2 more, I want to see him win. Brady has 7, right?
Yes.
I want to see him win 8 because I don't want it to come to the end of Mahomes' career and we have these stupid ass, old heads. Excuse my language. I don't know why I say excuse my language when I just said stupid fucking. You know what I'm saying? But we have these old heads that are gonna be, Brady has 7 rings. Same thing with. I mean, you know exactly what I'm about to say. LeBron and Jordan. So if Mahomes ends up winning 2 more, I mean, I think we could both agree at that point. If he wins this year and he wins 1 more, I don't really think there's an argument that Peyton Manning's above him. So at that point,
God, no. At that point, Brady. No, there's not an argument.
It becomes Brady. Like, I'm with you, bro. I think that we get so caught up in the rings thing, we forget it's a team sport. I don't think that shit really works in team sport. I think depending on the sport, excuse me, it could matter more. But I mean, look at this Ohtani, bro. Mike Trout. Look at Mike Trout. He's made the playoffs 1 time in his career. Who's gonna sit there and say he's not one of the best to ever play the game?
I think the rings are less a factor in baseball, to be honest. I really do.
No. Yeah, baseball is a really bad example, but it really comes down to it's a team sport, bro. The only time where you can really make an argument is individual sports, tennis, boxing, UFC, swimming, to where it really doesn't matter how talented you are. Were you good enough to win? In football, I mean, and yes, the quarterback is the most important position on the field. Aside from baseball, which is essentially an individual sport with a little bit of teamwork mixed in, there's so much shit that needs to go right in football. In basketball, you can have one guy dribbling through double teams, doing a bunch of shit all by himself. Granted, it's a team sport too, but football, you need to have a line. The quarterback, Mahomes, doesn't play defense. So you need to have so many different things go right in football schematically. I think football personally, and you're a huge, football head. I know you have a way more advanced football knowledge than I am. It's the most advanced sport strategy wise, just with the different coverages, the different gaps, everything. It's not even a comparison.
It's the most strategic team sport game by a landslide.
Hands down. It's easily the most strategic team sport game. I don't even know. I mean, I guess basketball out of the major 4 could be second, but even then, not really. Like, it really doesn't.
I say, even then with basketball, if you have a generational talent player, you can just say, go score.
Just give them the ball.
Go make a stop. Like, if you have a tremendous lockdown defender, go stop him from getting to the hole. There's a lot of different things in different sports, but football, And one more thing about the rings conversation that some old heads are just so embedded on. That's all about rings. It's all about this. Is there anyone? I'm assuming there is, but is that football, Ian? Is there any shot in hell Eli Manning is a better quarterback than Dan Marino? No.
Dan Marino could have 0 arms. He would be better than Eli Manning.
See, I don't want to disrespect Eli. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's a great quarterback.
I disagree with that. I mean,
he's not in the echelon of Dan Marino. But he has 2 rings. Marino doesn't. Is Ben Roethlisberger a better quarterback than Drew Brees because he has 1 more ring than him? Absolutely not. Is Troy Aikman a better quarterback than Peyton Manning? No.
Mm-hmm. And then that just goes back to the circle, and that just kind of, I don't know, man. I just feel like I like the rings conversation because I think it is an interesting topic, but I think some people, I think they're just so hard. Did you win? I try not to even get into that debate with people anymore. But yeah, it's a team sport. It doesn't matter what you do individually. Marino, before I think Peyton Manning broke it, he threw 47 touchdowns in a season?
48
before Peyton Manning came and broke it with the Broncos. Peyton
Manning broke it with the Colts. And then Tom Brady beat it with the Patriots, and then Manning broke
it again.
Brady's record with the Broncos. Yeah.
Oh, anyways, okay. Right, but what I'm saying though is it's just, I don't know, man. It's just such an art. But look at the defense, with the Eli Manning thing, the defense the Giants had. There's just so much different variable going with the football. I'll entertain that shit in basketball more than I will in football. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe you have to win one, but I mean, it's such a team game, man. I'm really over that bullshit to where, did he win? Peyton Manning only has 2 rings. Did you watch? I watched Peyton Manning play pretty much every fucking Sunday. That dude was incredible, to say the fucking least.
He was the best pre-snap quarterback the game has ever seen.
I'll say it like this. Peyton Manning, if you're teaching your kid to play quarterback, you have
show him Peyton Manning.
Exactly. There's nobody that is just a football player more than Manning. And then Mahomes, he's a new breed, bro. And then probably 30 years from now, we're gonna see somebody and be like, Mahomes who? It's just evolving. But we could talk all day about most talented, but when you get it done when it matters the most, you're good in big games. Has Mahomes really ever shit the bed in a big game that cost him a chance? Once. I don't remember how he played against the Broncos, but not the Broncos, the Buccaneers. But I mean, no,
Once.
He's had.
It wasn't his fault against the Bucs. He had no line. That man was running for his life. The game that I feel Patrick Mahomes was truly bad in, and it was just for a half. In a playoff game, that cost them was against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. They were up 21-3 at one point, and they shit the bed in the second half.
Mm-hmm. I know the Bengals.
Either 21-3 or 21-6.
Yeah, because the Bengals came back at the end. I mean, it's still hell. It was a hell of a pick by who was it? I think Bates, right? That still a hell of a play. But yeah, that was the only game to where I remember everybody. I forgot about that, where they were like, dude, Mahomes is choking. And I was so glad, bro, because that means we got to play the Bengals if we would. And we did.
That gave the Rams a Super Bowl win, in my opinion, because I don't think you guys were going to beat the Chiefs. But
I was obviously more excited for the Super Bowl than anything, but the 2 wins aside from that in the playoffs I was more excited for was when we beat Tom Brady. You were like, bro, that's a 4-minute message. I'm not listening to this shit. Condensed it. I was like, we got that motherfucker. And then when the Bengals beat the Chiefs, because I was like, fucking dude, I feel like we would have lost to Kansas City in that Super Bowl. I really do.
I think so too. That's just, yeah, I think you would have too. But let's shift gears for a second. What would a Super Bowl win mean for the Niners and Brock Purdy? And more importantly, what would it mean for Kyle Shanahan to finally get over the?
Yeah, if we're talking about who needs it more, I mean, I think a few weeks ago, I think we broke it down on the show, but it was more in our messenger chat. Who needs it the most? The Niners definitely need it the most. You think about 2013, they're right there, can't get in. The year. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, Chief. I just wanted to make sure that my car wasn't getting towed. But yeah, I think it would mean the world for Kyle Shanahan. I mean, because if you want to go back and you know exactly what I'm about to say, 2018, 28-3, and you think about it, it was his offensive play calling that people were really like, what? He was the offensive coordinator. I mean, I'm not
Correct.
mistaken on that, correct? Everybody wants to question. Was it Dan Quinn? I believe was there.
Dan Quinn.
I always,
Yep.
get the names mixed up as far as offensive and defensive coordinators at the time. But yeah, no, I think it would be the world for Shanahan, because that, and then you think about the Super Bowl when they play the Chiefs and the 2020 Super Bowl, for the 2019 season, they were up by what, double digits in the fourth quarter, and they ended up choking. And I remember I was listening to Undisputed, I think the day after, and I guess they had like a giant post game bash, and they had Lil Wayne performing because they already had it scheduled, and they're like, why are you smiling? Like, you guys just lost. And it's like, and everybody kind of had the notion like, we'll be back. Took them 4 years, but they're back. I think it would mean the world for that franchise. They haven't won one since they beat the Chargers back in, I think it was the '94 season, in the '95 Super Bowl where they thrashed them. That team was ridiculous, bro. Oh my fucking God. You look at that roster.
Steve Young threw 6 touchdowns.
And that was awesome for Steve Young, man. They get the monkey off my back.
Yeah, that was one of the most iconic post-game comments ever.
Oh yeah, he's like, get the monkey off my back. But it's, dude, I think it would mean the world for that franchise. I think that I want to say a loss would be more devastating than a win would be good. Good. If they win, they have what, 6 now? But if they lose again, ooh, they're gonna, shit. Are they the Bills now at this point? I mean, because you think about it, they lost 20. I mean, it's not 4 years in a fucking row. That's absolutely incredible to be that. To just fall short in the biggest game. Great 30 for 30, by the way, about the Bills. But at this point, they will have lost, 3 Super Bowls in 11 years? So I think it would mean a big thing for the franchise. I think it would mean the Niners have been so good for. Dude, I mean, the Niners have been good for a while. They're
Long time.
When's the last
Their
time they were
roster is
shitty?
absolutely stacked.
The last time they were really shitty was, right before, a couple seasons before they made that Super Bowl run against Baltimore, and then, since then they've had great seasons. They've been
they've had a few bad
they've
ones.
had a few great
in there.
Yeah, well, they've had a couple of bad ones mixed in, but a lot of the times it was just like, all right. I mean, I think after the Ravens Super Bowl, I think there was like a couple years after that where they went through a little down stretch, but for the most part, the Niners.
Couple years though, they were really bad. Like 2017, 2018.
Well, because I know 20. Were they really that bad at that time? Who was their quarterback? Was it
They had Blaine Gabbert, CJ Beathard. They went through a quarterback carousel. Nick Mullins. They had a few bad ones sprinkled in there.
About Nick Mullins, but yeah, I think it would just be a huge thing for the franchise. I think it would propel them to now we're the team. But I think it's gonna be them in Kansas City for years. I think that a win is gonna take away that label of chokers or can't get it done in the big game, which we've seen for the last decade or so.
What do you think it would do for Brock Purdy?
Oh, it would mean the world for Brock Purdy. I don't think there would be. It also, I think, kind of depends how he plays in the game too. Because if you think about it with the Brady thing, I mean, I was watching the Man in the Arena. Brady wasn't even 100% sure after the year he won the Super Bowl that he was going to start over Bledsoe. I mean, and there's also because Bledsoe came in against the Steelers, won the AFC Championship game that year. But if Purdy can go out and just ball out of his mind, I think there's going to be a lot less doubts around Purdy. I'm rooting for him, man. That guy has it. He has something special. And the best thing about Purdy is I haven't heard a single Niners player go in the. I mean, that's just the Niners seem like they have a lot of, a lot of really classy guys, but they don't go in the locker room and bash them. They don't go to the media and bash them. Everybody seems like they want to play for Purdy. Everybody seems like they like playing for Shanahan. As much as I fucking hate the Niners because they're in the division and they're bang bang whiner gang, the Niners they have something really special over there, just as far as how good they're one of those teams that could be scary good. Same thing with Kansas City. If they can get rid of, some of the liabilities we saw for a lot of the year, guys dropping passes. I mean, you remember the game against the Eagles, bro. They had that shit won if MVS catches a pass. Absolutely. I think if either one of those, I mean, the way I look at it, and I'll bring this up when we get into our picks as well, the Niners to me have a lot less to be concerned about than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs have Mahomes, so it's gonna be a fun one, man. I can't fucking wait.
Here's my thing for Brock Purdy. I think for him, this Super Bowl would mean the world. I think as long as he doesn't have to get absolutely carried by his playmakers in his defense. If they end up winning this game and Purdy makes 1 or 2 throws that we would consider elite, just 1 or 2, that put the 49ers in the position to win the game, I think it's really going to propel his status. he doesn't get much respect right now, and I think that eats at him. I truly believe that this is the stage that
he's a dog, bro. Purdy's
he's
a
a
dog.
dog.
I love
He
Purdy.
is. I don't think he's overly talented. I don't think his arm is overly special, but he seems to not budge in the big moments, and that's huge. That's pretty much half of what being a quarterback is not folding under the pressure. And I believe he has that gumption. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to be the reason.
Gumption.
The gumption. I don't think that he's going to be the reason. Say the 49ers lose. I don't think he's going to be the reason they lose this game.
I don't think so either. I think he's too solid for that. I don't think he's gonna get exposed in any way at all.
No, I don't
think
either.
he's good.
And you know, absolutely. No, I absolutely agree. So we covered that. What do you say we get into the picks? Well, the pick,
yes.
I should say.
We'll get into the pick, and then we'll get into some of the more fun ones after that. So and you've led the pick segment all year, and because the game is the big thing. I want to make sure that we cover that last. So give me just 1 second, and I'm gonna tell you to check your phone. Give me just 1 second, because I know you wanted to. I know we both kind of wanted to cover some of these prop bets. So this is what I'm gonna have fun with. Usher's gonna make me a lot of money this weekend, and I'm not selling ass for him. Okay. All right. Let me just take a picture of this last one. Give me 1 second. But yeah, man, our pick segment, just kind of while I'm going through this, and kind of took me by surprise there. But man, that's really that's for me personally, I don't know about you, that's been my favorite part of our show all year. Just
Absolutely.
because the simple fact that I like, and next we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I got Baltimore. So like
it's always fun.
It's always fun for sure. No, my favorite time is when I pick the Jets to beat. Oh, I was talking so much shit, but then you guys got your lick back when I picked Alabama and fucking Georgia to lose on the same weekend, and they both won by 30. But yeah, let's go ahead and check your phone, and let's read off some of these prop bets. Let's go from the top.
Go from the top. I am with it, my man. So for the first prop bet of the Super Bowl.
Oh my fucking God. I'm looking at this shit right now.
All right. Will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift? I'm saying no.
I say no, but I'm not putting money on that. That shit's minus 3,000. You'd have to put up 3,000 to win 100. You know what? See, this is the gambler in me. Like, you know what? It could really fucking happen. Ooh, man. I feel like that's good value though. Plus 1060 for yes, 10-1 odds if he proposes. I mean, what if she puts it in one of her songs one day? Like this is the perfect time. Give me the no. Give me the no.
I'm definitely going with the no on that.
Give me the no.
Will the MVP mention Taylor Swift in his speech? I'm saying yes because they will be asked.
That's a good one. I say yes because it'll be Travis Kelce. Shit. No, never mind.
You think Travis Kelce's going to win the MVP? Okay.
I don't know. I totally.
No, you said it. You're sticking with it. No, you're sticking with it. Nope.
Let's skip past.
No!
All right, let's go to the next one, Casey.
Taylor Swift to wear an outfit. Why are these all about Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift to wear an outfit made by Kristen Juszczyk. No.
What the fuck is that like Kyle Juszczyk's wife?
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Give me a yes for plus 270. She's a classy girl. She likes to support the little people. Give me
So
yes.
She's gonna wear something made by the opposing team's wife.
She's classy, like I said. I totally forgot that for a second that she's Kelsey's on the Chiefs. But yeah, give me a yes.
You're dumb.
It's Super Bowl prop bets. They don't fucking logic. We're just throwing fucking darts here.
Swift's travel from Japan to Las Vegas to be shown on CBS. Oh, probably.
Let me see. What are the
bro? I'm not reading any more Taylor Swift prop bets.
All right, that's give me the no. I'm actually gonna take the no. All right, what we got next? I think that's the end of the Taylor. Oh nope. I'll
No,
read
they're
this.
all about
Sick of
Taylor
this shit.
Swift.
Okay, we'll just go through these quick because there's a couple of them below. I'll just read these off because I know you're sick of fucking doing it. What is the color of Taylor Swift's shirt going to be at the Super Bowl?
Red.
Everybody say it red. Give me white for plus 600. Swift and Kelsey seen kissing on February 11th. I'm guessing is the day of the Super Bowl. No. Will Donna Kelsey hug track Taylor Swift on the CBS broadcast?
Yes.
Give me the no. Give me the no. Okay, and then so next one we're gonna go to is so the third picture down from the top. It looks like I cut off the top of what it is, but where it says purple, blue, all that is the Gatorade, the color of the Gatorade bath. So what color do you got?
Blue.
I know, right? I'm like, I don't. Let's see. No Gatorade bath. What the fuck? Clear/water. Dude, I'm really gonna make that bet because that's gotta be so fucking exciting. Being like, bro, they got the cooler. They got the cooler. I got $100 on this shit. Give me yellow/lime/green. I think Vegas takes it back.
All right. Okay.
All right. So the next one after that is okay. It's the same thing. Then we have 2 more pages of them. No, I think that's wait. Okay. The number of songs performed over or under 8.5 songs at halftime. The song must be played for a minimum of 10 seconds to count.
Oh, under. I'm gonna go 8 exactly.
Just because Usher has so many slow songs, I'm taking under as well. Who will be a guest performer? The best odds is Alicia Keys at -330, Ludacris at -250, and I'm not gonna read this whole fucking thing. Why are some of these names on here? And why is will.i.am only a 2-to-1 chance or only 2-to-1 odds? Nicki Minaj, like some of these guys have some pretty good chances.
I'm gonna say Alicia Keys.
I'm gonna say Lil Wayne. Plus 500.
I'm saying Alicia Keys.
The next one is going. Oh, me and my mom just talked about this shit earlier. Oh well, Madonna and Miley Cyrus are on there. So the first song performed, I'm just gonna read them all off. Yeah, plus 225. My Way, plus 225. DJ Got Us Falling in. I think that's the song. Plus 500. Love in This Club, 600. Oh my God, plus 800. Boyfriend, plus 1100. Superstar, plus 1100. Burn. I don't even know how that shit goes. Usher's kind of cool, man, but I don't like. I've probably heard all these songs. I don't recognize the name. Burn plus 1200. Good plus 1800. My Boo plus 2000. I'm gonna go ahead and say, oh my God, for plus 800.
I'm gonna say My Boo, and that's when Alicia Keys comes out.
Is that the When I'm With My Boo? Oh, that's that song. The first song performed though. You think Alicia Keys gonna come out right away?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think he's gonna save Yeah for the end.
I was just talking about that with my mom. I was like, I don't think Yeah is gonna be first. It's high up on this, but I think that's too hype of a song.
I think it's gonna be last.
I think it's gonna be the oh my God. Okay, so now that we're done with absolutely the most fucking pointless segment we've ever done on this show, what do you say we get into the grown-up business? Let's talk the Super Bowl pick. So because it's been a tradition all year and you've done such a great job of leading up to it, I want you to paint the scene and let's make these picks. What's going on?
So on Sunday, February 11th at 6:30 Eastern time, 3:30 fucking Western Pacific time, because that's who the fuck wants to watch the Super Bowl at 3:30. That's some bullshit. Fuck the West Coast. We have the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the champions of the American Football Conference and the reigning Super Bowl champions as we speak, heading to Las Vegas, where unfortunately they will not be playing Ian's Las Vegas Raiders. They will, however, be facing the National Football Conference champions, the San Francisco 49ers. And my friend, I am going to tell you, I have the Kansas City Chiefs as back-to-back Super Bowl champions, winning by a score of 27-21.
What do you think happens? What do you think it comes down to? Like, you think it's gonna be last drive, like last second stop? Like, how do you think it ends?
So, if I had to give my prediction on how I think it's gonna end, I would personally say, I think It will be 24-21 heading into the fourth.
Mhm.
Kansas City, it will be defense for most of the fourth. Kansas City will get a late field goal, make it 27-21, giving the 49ers another chance with about a minute 50 left, and they won't be able to cash in.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, that's kind of I think that's going to be symbolic too. I think the Chiefs' defense has been the focal point all year, and why not?
Absolutely.
I think it would be a poetic justice to see them be the one to take it. I gotta spark this up because I'm about to get fucking crazy with my pick. It's a cigarette, by the way. Don't smoke, kids. Probably be dead before the soup. Knock on wood. Why would I say? Okay, so I think the first quarter is going to be a really tough game. I think it's going to be competitive. I think the Niners are going to end up running away with it. I've got San Francisco 34, or sorry, I'm trying to. I had it by 13. I just didn't think of the exact score. I've got San Francisco 34-21. I don't know if Kansas City is going to get a field. I might be off on the score, but I think it's going to be a close game early. I think they're going to be going back and forth. And Kansas City's defense, I think, is going to show up early, but I think that we're going to really see McCaffrey show up and show out. I think that we're going to see Ayuk. I think is going to have a big game. And yeah, I just think that the Niners are going to. It's going to start off, like I said, really, really close. I think Kansas City's defense is going to get a couple stops. Excuse me. Do you realize against the because before Kansas City played Baltimore, who did they play? They played the
Bills.
The Bills. I think that was the first time L'Jarius Sneed had been beat this season. I think he gets beat again this weekend for a touchdown. I don't know by who, and I think McCaffrey runs all over their ass. I've got McCaffrey going for over 100 yards, and I got him winning MVP too.
Oh, wow. So, once again, we're coming back to the same argument, the same point that I've made for months. Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Like, Ian, you're a wonderful co-host, and you're a great guy, buddy. But I can't see it happening. I don't think it's a smart bet for you. I wouldn't put money on that if I were you. I don't think that's a smart bet at all. We just got done about 20 minutes ago talking about how this guy could potentially go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. And you said he's probably the best quarterback you've ever seen. And you're going against him in a Super Bowl where his defense is really, really good. And, kudos to you. That it's a good bet. Like, San Fran's favored by 2. So I get where you're coming from thinking San Fran's going to win. I understand. I just don't think it's smart.
Now, another thing I wanted to, if San Francisco had cruised here, I probably would have been a little bit more on Kansas City. The fact that San Francisco should have lost to Green Bay, the fact that they really fucking should have lost to the Lions, shout out Dan Campbell and Eminem. I think that they got their fucking reality check at the right time. I mean, maybe the playoffs isn't necessarily the right time, but considering they won the games, it was the right time. I think that's gonna help them. Granted, let's not act like Kansas City. I'm not acting like they've had it easy. They, back and forth with Buffalo. One or two things went different. They could have lost that game.
Do you think it plays into Kansas City's favor that they won both games on the road?
That
you could
right,
argue.
Right.
You could argue that San Fran may have gotten their reality check at the right time,
but they were at home.
But you could also argue that Kansas City's hitting their stride now at the right time.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be one of those things to where something's got to give. Like both teams right now look amazing, but I think that the mantra throughout the last week of practice and this week is we can't play the Chiefs like we did the Packers and the Lions. If we do, they're going to kill us. I think San Fran starts out sharp. I think both teams really start out sharp. I don't think San Francisco is going to beat themselves. And I know Dallas choked out of the playoffs. I really didn't want to bring that up. But I still remember the game against Dallas and how dominant they looked. Talent-wise, Dallas was probably top 5 as far as pure talent across the field. And the Niners wiped the floor with them. when the
also
Niners
lost
are
3 in a row though this season.
right, and then they lost the 3 in a row. I don't know, man. I'm also starting to think that maybe what we were talking about earlier this year, some of those receivers issues that the ball dropping issues that Kansas City had, I think it might come back to haunt them too. I just see less
MVS
risk
made a
with.
huge catch in the AFC
Mhm.
Championship game, though. What if that is the spark that MVS needed? What if MVS goes out and has the game of his life?
He might. And Kelsey, he's been playing fucking amazing,
He's
bro.
been
Like,
balling.
I think he really got tired of all the shit about Taylor Swift made him famous. I'm gonna go score 2 fucking touchdowns at the beginning of the game. Watch me. I don't know, man. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be a good one, man. And I'm really sick. I can understand not wanting to see the same teams in the Super Bowl, but first of
Absolutely.
all, Kansas City, I could get a little like they've been, get the fuck off the couch. So, but yeah, like I don't really mind, bro, unless it gets to the point where it's like Cleveland and Golden State, where we literally see them 4 fucking years in a row. I don't mind. I'd rather see the best team in the Super Bowl. It would have been really cool to see the Lions in here. Don't get me wrong, but I'm personally, I like the underdog story. I like the underdog to have a cute little run, but I like seeing the cream rise to the top. I want to see the best team win, and I think we have the 2 best teams. Baltimore looks flat out dominant. I think Kansas City's better than Baltimore. That defense is amazing for Kansas City. San Francisco, I don't really think there's an argument that they're not the best team in the NFC. The Lions really impressed me. I had a feeling they weren't going to just come out and lay down for the Niners, and they didn't. But I don't really maybe there's a little bit of a debate, but I don't think there's too much of a debate that the 2 best teams are in the Super Bowl. The only team I think you
I
might
agree.
be able to, as far as like talent wise, make an
Baltimore.
argument with is well, I mean, maybe Baltimore, but Dallas too. But I mean, Dallas, they choked out of the wild card round. It's a lot of coaching. They have a lot of issues to fix themselves. But I don't like. There's really not like I want to see McCaffrey. McCaffrey is gonna be playing in his first Super Bowl, bro. Like I think that we need to really sit back and not necessarily appreciate, but really be grateful for the fact that we're getting to see somebody like that in the Super Bowl. He's been one of the most all around. One of the best all-around players for 7 years now.
Fun fact, his dad, Ed McCaffrey, his dad
2
was on the
Super
team when
Bowls.
the 49ers last won their Super Bowl.
Really? So he's
Yeah.
won 3 then. Or did he
Ed
win?
McCaffrey. Yeah, because he won 2 with the Broncos. But yeah, he was on the 49ers team that won the Super Bowl against the Chargers.
Oh shit! I did not realize that. But I'm really just excited that we're getting to see Kelsey in the Super Bowl. I really just like the way Kelsey plays. I just really like Kelsey as a player. And we're getting to see arguably one of the most complete football players to ever play in McCaffrey. I mean that dude is just phenomenal, bro. I remember watching him at Stanford. Yeah, I remember Luke Kuechly told a story, and he walked up to him before like an inter-squad scrimmage, like, "Hey man, I really looked up to you growing up," and went out there and fucking cooked him. I love watching McCaffrey, bro. That's where that's what they be saying in the barbershop. That white boy cold. For real.
Of course.
It's gonna be fun.
No,
man.
it's not taking anything away from McCaffrey
too, bro.
You know, McCaffrey has been a monster his whole career. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the most talented players that's ever put on a uniform. Nobody would argue that. I just think that he's probably going against the most talented player that's ever put on a uniform. And unfortunately for McCaffrey, that man happens to play the most important position in the league.
Yeah,
I feel that strongly about Mahomes, man. I really do.
I feel it, man.
I don't.
Like, that's how I feel about LeBron a lot of times. But at this point, I'm done betting on fucking LeBron. But no, for real, like that's how I kind of felt about LeBron or Alabama football. Like if I lose, I'll be okay with losing, but I'm not betting against that motherfucker. Today, though, I don't know. I just woke up with some balls this morning. Fuck it. San Francisco. I've been telling everybody, put all your money on San Francisco. I told a customer the other day, he's like, "Hey, you guys have the Super Bowl coming out here?" I'm like, "Yes, sir. San Francisco, -2.5. Just don't deposit a check and then come us to ask us to release it because you're going to have to wait a few days." But
no, I hear you. No, look, you're not wrong with your points about San Francisco. You're really not. They're probably from top to bottom the better team than Kansas City. They have more talent on offense, that's for sure. But they don't have 15.
They don't. And I'm really grateful too, man, that we're getting to see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Like the best players on the biggest stage. I love Jared Goff, man. I really like what he's doing. And Lamar Jackson, I think, is, his time will come. I'm sure Lamar Jackson will win a ring if John Harbaugh can keep up. Wait, what'd you say?
I said, will he though?
I mean, shit. He's only been in the league like 8 years. No, not even. I mean, because I watched him when he was in college, like 6. Yeah, when I first came out here. I mean, he might, but we're getting to see Mahomes in the Super Bowl, bro. Like, because everybody always complained about the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but everybody watched to see Brady lose. People always complain about Mayweather winning, but they'll tune in to watch him. I think Mahomes is a little more revered, or not revered. He's less hated than Brady. I don't even know if I would say he's revered. A lot of people, yeah, for now, a lot of people still hate Mahomes. I think a lot of it got started with his wife and then his brother, and now because they're the darlings, bro. But I love Andy Reid, man. That dude is a genius with his play calls. I think a big key for San Francisco is gonna be able to stop Pacheco. I think if Pacheco can get going, it's gonna really it's going to force their defense to play more against the run, and then you give Mahomes a chance to do what he does. But I think Pacheco is going to play a big factor. If Pacheco can get going, I think the Niners defense is good enough to stop Mahomes. If Pacheco does get going, then it might be a little tougher. But I just, you have to play, like you said, Mahomes on the field. Kansas City's defense is great. I just think the Niners are better.
I don't disagree. I definitely think the Niners are better. I just don't think that matters.
Because they have 15. I mean, I feel you though, bro. That's kind of the same way I feel like with LeBron. Like, I was like, you know what? Seen this motherfucker do incredible shit too many times. If I gamble and lose, so fucking be it. But I'm not betting against LeBron. Same way I can imagine if this was the 1998 NBA Finals and you were like, hey, the Jazz are going to win. You're not betting against Michael Jordan, buddy. That's not how, so kind of the same thing. Like, it's one of those things to where, do I really want to be remembered as the dude? Like, I'm saying Mahomes ends up being, winning 7 or 8. Like, wow, I really picked against them in his third Super Bowl. Like, I actually thought they would lose. So it's going to be fun to see the way this turns out, man. If Mahomes wins, those legacy conversations are going to start heating up real quick. Because like I was saying earlier, they win. Now, I will say this before we kind of dive into this a little bit more football. I think if the Chiefs win, I think they will become the most dominant team in the history of NFL and the NFL. They'll have won 2 Super Bowls, and I think if they win this year, they will be the odds-on favorite. And I think they're going to have enough confidence next year to where if they can win this year to we know we're going to go.
Especially if they can bring in a top flight receiver.
Oh, yeah, especially if they can improve their receiving corps. Like, we just won the Super Bowl with MVS, Kadarius Toney.
Imagine if they bring in like a Mike Evans or Stephon Diggs, like how much that would elevate their offense.
And like I said, I think the confidence, because Kansas City last 3 or 4 years, we've seen them kind of in the regular season, like have some question marks, but they're always back, or they're almost back to the Super Bowl. I think if they win this year, it's gonna really with pro sports, I try not to do that, man, because in reality, it's pro sports. It's not about emotion. It's really about who can scheme the best, who are the better players, who can make the plays. I think it's gonna raise their confidence level on to 20 if they can win this game. I think if they win the Super Bowl, they'll probably finish 16-1 next year and win again and get a 3-peat. If they win the Super Bowl, I'm calling a 3-peat for next year. I guarantee it, like Joe Namath. But
that would be something if they were able to do that. Then a real conversation kicks in for legacy, and
at that point, if he wins 3 in a row, he's above Manning. I think if he wins next year too and this year, he's above Manning. But that's way too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, that's way too early. I'm so excited for the Super Bowl, man. There's so much going into it. There always is with the Super Bowl, but this year, because just of how much like legacy is coming into it, it feels a little different. You know what I mean? Like,
great season too.
Yeah, it has. It went by so fast, man. It went by in the blink of an eye. It does every year, and I'm always surprised at myself at the end of the year with how fast the season goes.
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's like the blink of an eye, man, and the season's just gone.
Because then now think about how college football's been done for like a month.
It's
insane. It seems like football is the sport that takes so fucking long to start. But then when it hits, it's week 1, week 2, week 3. Oh, we're at the fucking Super Bowl. Oh, season's done. And then you got all those memes of SpongeBob sitting in the coffee shop, like sitting there waiting for NFL season to start. Like,
think about it. Like, after Sunday, dude, come Monday, we don't have football. We don't have NFL football until August. Sure, we got the UFL, which we'll probably talk about on occasion on here. I'll check out a game or two. But for me, it never hits the same. Like, I understand it's still football, but for some reason, I can't put my finger on why.
No tradition.
Maybe maybe it's just the level of absolutely tradition, but maybe it's just the level of play too. It never hits the same ever.
Right, and I think that too, and I might be wrong, kind of making assumptions about you, but I think that's just because you love football so much that you want to see the best. Like, granted, I'm the same way, bro. Like with basketball, I'll watch. I mean, honestly, during the regular season, I watch a lot more college basketball just because I'm betting on it a lot of times. There's so many more games, but I've been watching so much NBA this year, bro, and I'm just like, these dudes are so much fucking better. Same shit with the NFL, bro. I think football, it's a little hard to tell. So be like, the players in college play. Shut the fuck up. Like the players in the NFL.
I hate that argument. I hate that argument.
Maybe to an extent. I mean, yeah, you have a few more divas in the NFL who might, but at the end of the day, bro, like those dudes are the best athletes in the world. And if you realize, I saw an interview not too long ago, or it was like a podcast. The playoff game checks, the bonus checks, it's really not shit compared to like the game checks they get in the regular season. In the playoffs, players are really just playing for the love of the game. They're not getting a stupid financial incentive. They're playing because they want to for legacy. They're playing for legacy. But yeah, no, I think it's just because you appreciate football. I think it has to do too because when I watch NFL. I watch, NFL pretty much every week, but one of the biggest things that'll make me tune in is legacy. Hey, if Tom Brady wins this Super Bowl, he's going to probably be considered the GOAT. Okay, let me watch. With the UFL, like especially with the fact that this is a brand, I mean, was the USFL and the XFL merging, especially the fact that it's a brand new league, like, okay, the Vegas Vipers won by 20. Like, what does that really mean for me? Like, are we really gonna be able to sit here and have a show like the Vegas Vipers? Like, not like nobody's gonna be interested in that shit. I'm not gonna be interested in that shit.
Exactly.
Like college, I think college is a lot bigger like in the South because I have a few friends from South Carolina. My boss is from Arkansas. I have another, a couple friends that are Georgia fans. Like that shit is a huge deal around there. Like college football is life. But for like there's some crazy college fan bases. But don't tell me there's the fan base out there crazier than fucking Eagles fans or Bills fans. Shit, Cowboys fans, bro. Like Cowboys, and I'm so sick of hearing Cowboys fans always say this is our year. No, you guys don't. Every Cowboys fan I know is fucking dreading the next season to start because they know you guys are going to do amazing and then fail. I'm so sick of the narrative that Cowboys fans always think it's their year. Any team that comes out after an off season and starts off really well and has a lot of good players and has a good record, everybody's going to think it's their year. The fucking Bengals could start out like the Cowboys did. This is our year. Nobody would bat an eye. Maybe it's because they failed so many times, but Cowboys fans are delusional. No, everybody's delusional. It's just Cowboys. There's like 20 times more, but I don't know, man. I just love the NFL, bro. I love the NBA.
That's such a good point.
There's something about the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl, bro. Like whenever you think, because obviously baseball players make more. How some football players make peanuts compared to what some of the, the bench guys in, the MLB make. But like the Super Bowl, like I don't care if you're a singer, a basketball player, a writer, everybody wants to play in this. You don't even have to like sports. You know how many people, I know people that don't even watch football that throw Super Bowl parties. Whether they do it for like everybody will be watching, man. Like it's like if I don't know, man, just to be able to play in the Super Bowl, like if you do something big in the Super Bowl, you are a legend.
You're cemented in history forever.
Or infamy. I mean, because we can go Doug Williams, first black
Scott Norwood
quarterback. Yeah, exactly. On the other side of the coin, got Scott Norwood, Adam Vinatieri. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows. Had Adam Vinatieri made the kick against the Raiders, that snow kick, which was absolutely insane, and they lost to the Rams. And he didn't end up kicking those. Like nobody would talk about him. And now when you mention Vinatieri, it's clutch because he won the Super Bowl with those kicks. Like if you perform in the Super Bowl or you don't perform, that lives on forever, man. And I'm really, one of the things that I always really think about when the Super Bowl comes, I'm not sure if you do too, it's just I'm really just happy for, the players and, to be able to share it with their families. Because I know if my son was playing in the Super Bowl, my kid's mom, man, I always joke with her, like, you are like the sports parent. Like, that's my baby. So, for their parents and their family members and their closest people, just to be like, wow, all that, support that we gave them, paid off. And just to really be able to see them play in front of the whole world. It's not just America that watches the Super Bowl, bro. Motherfuckers in Afghanistan, England, and you can make the argument, well, yeah, the World Cup final soccer is the world's most popular sport. Like
by a mile.
It's not even like a comparison. Like you can't compare. Whenever I turn on my William Hill app, bro, there must be 40 different soccer leagues playing at one time. It's easily the biggest sport in the world. But when you compare it to like the amount I guess fans, the NFL, like the Super Bowl. Fuck the World Cup final, bro. I know everybody else in the world cares about it. The Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event. It's the most traditional day. I'm sure they do in fucking Spain and shit. I don't hear, hey, let's come over and get a World Cup party going. I probably sounded ignorant because I'm sure they do in tons of places.
I'm
like,
sure, yeah, I guarantee they do.
a huge
especially
thing for sure, but it just doesn't. Maybe it is because we're American, but it's just one game, the Super Bowl, not the World Cup final. Like, it's just the name, bro. I was thinking about it the other day, just the name, like Super Bowl, like it's super. And I guess bowl because I like that's kind of what they used. I don't know. I think I found the reason why they called it the Super Bowl not too long ago. I forgot what the story was, but it's just a huge game, man. The commercials. I remember one time it was when the Ravens Niners Super Bowl. We were watching it. I was fucking baked, and there was a commercial they were showing for I think Oreos, and it was like cream, cookie, cream, cookie, and I was high as fuck. I was tripping, bro. And there was another one where the little kid, I think the dude tried to take his Doritos. He's like, "Keep your hands off my mama. Keep your hands off my Doritos."
Hands off my Doritos. Yeah, I remember that.
The Clydesdales back? I heard they are.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh man, it's just, man, it's really been a really fun season with you and Justin and Sean for like 2 episodes. But I'm just playing, man. We miss them, and yeah, shout out Sean for sure, man. Really happy to see you doing your thing. Looks like you're having a lot of success with this music, bro. So we're we're here to support you, bro, and we're really happy to see you doing good. But dude, I'm so hyped.
Bitch, though.
Well, we can forget about that part. I say the nice stuff first, but dude, I'm so excited for the Super Bowl, bro. Matter of fact, I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. I need to put in for the Monday off because dude, fucking downtown, bro. They're gonna have, normally they have like there's the downtown event center, like a huge Super Bowl party. Because it's in Vegas, bro, they're sectioning off 3 city blocks for a huge,
that's nuts, dude.
Bro, it's downtown. I think it's like 4th to, I want to say, Casino Center, but like they're shutting down downtown Vegas. I mean, I know you've never been to Vegas, but I know you can only imagine the cars, the traffic that goes through there.
Oh yeah.
No, bro, I'm gonna be getting fucked up. I already told my boy, like, bro, we're not staying inside for the Super Bowl. Like, we're going out. We're getting hooked. I'm not gonna get no hookers, but it's gonna be cool, man. Do you know Offspring, the band?
Of course.
Name a song. I would have put you on.
Why don't you get a job? Pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh my God! Wait. They're the ones that sing the. See. I don't even know. See, I look like a dumbass. Wait, they're the ones that say no way, for real?
No way. Yeah. Now why don't you get a job?
Got a girlfriend and
that's the Offspring.
Dude, they're coming here Saturday, free concert on Fremont. What the fuck? I didn't know they. I know the "You're Gonna Go Far, Kid." Dude, are you serious? They sing "On My Friends." Oh, that shit's gonna be rocking, bro. Yeah. That's like the headline performance, because they have people out here all week, bro. Right? I got like an email for it, and it's Guy Fieri's. I think it's called Flavortown Showdown or something like that. It's like Guy Fieri's having a big ass Super Bowl party. Free tickets, and they actually keep saying, "Hey, there's your final chance to claim them." I don't think I'm going to that shit, bro. It sounds like fun, but then you get in there. Can I get a burger? Yeah, $110. The fuck?
It'll be worth it.
It will, man. It's just gonna be, bro, like seeing there's gonna be so many Niner fans here, bro. I meet tons already living here as it is. It's gonna be overrun with Niner fans. Like you said, I didn't realize that Media Day was on opening night. But yeah, it's gonna be overrun with Niner fans, bro. Like it's gonna be bang bang Niner gang everywhere. I've already seen people with their Niner shit out. Saw one guy with the Chief thing earlier, but I don't know, man. I think Kansas City, because growing up, I remember the Chiefs when they had first started watching football when they had Dante Hall, Trent Green,
the X Factor,
Priest Holmes. Oh, dude, that. No, I think he was the human joystick.
Human joystick. Sorry,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
X Factor was Des Bryant. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah. How you missed that? But no, they dude, but that's what I remember the Chiefs for. You know, they won Super Bowl 4, and you know, they were a really prestigious franchise, Lamar Hunt, Hank Schramm. But you know, for the most part of my early childhood, like the Chiefs were, you know, might have a really good season sometimes because of the playoffs and lose, but they're really becoming one of those teams, bro. I think if
they're becoming a dynasty.
They're gonna become the Warriors of the NFL.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can absolutely see that, or the '90s Bulls. You know what I mean? That's another category that they're heading
That's
towards.
a very realistic comparison. Yeah, I mean, because they're just that dominant, you know. But the '90s Bulls never lost.
What do you say? We get into the question. Actually, before we get to the question, you mentioned college basketball. I want to say a couple things real quick about college basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm the only one thinking this. I got 2 things. on college basketball. Two things.
I'm ready to hear this because you never talk about college basketball.
A, I think the talent level in college basketball right now
Terrible.
is the lowest I've ever seen it.
I don't watch that shit anymore, dude. There's so many other alternatives. And what's the other thing you don't like about it?
It's not that I don't like this about college basketball. This is specifically, and I hate to do this. I really, really hate to do this. This is specifically about one player.
Active or former?
Active. One
college?
active player in college basketball.
Ooh.
I hate to do this, bro. I hate to do this. I don't think Bronny James is good enough for the NBA.
Not yet.
I don't think LeBron's ever gonna get to live out his dream of playing with his son in the NBA. I don't see it with Bronny. He's not complete enough. He's a great defender. He's a good shooter. He's not consistent enough. There's something lacking.
Right.
With Bronny.
Yeah. Right. That
I don't.
That's kind of the.
I don't
Go
know
ahead.
what
Go
it
ahead. I'm
is.
sorry.
I don't know what it is. I don't sit there and watch every USC game from start to finish, but I watch every highlight, every single one, because I'm interested. Because LeBron is one of my favorite players of all time, so I'm really intrigued and interested by what Bronny does. I don't see it, man. I do not see NBA ready yet. I don't know if he's going to be NBA ready in 2 years. His best bet, he needs to stay at USC a couple more years. I know LeBron wants to play with him. I almost can guarantee Bronny wants to play with his dad too.
Yeah.
Don't declare for the draft, Bronny. You need more time to develop. You're not ready.
Yeah,
He's not there yet, Ian. He's just not.
No, man, I kind of agree with you. At least not this year, bro, because I think, and to be honest, I do.
He's not even the best player on the team.
Yeah, and I do want to first, before I kind of get into his basketball ability, I want to give him a shout out just for how well he's handling all the pressures. Because since that kid was 13,
yeah,
he has had so much pressure on him. But I'm with you,
he's a great kid. Absolutely.
I don't think that he's ready for the NBA yet. Granted, there are some situations. It seems like Bronny will make not even one bad play, but one ineffective play, and they'll kind of take him out of the game. But like he did make. I was watching the Arizona State game a couple of weeks ago. He made some really good passes. He was like he has the vision like his dad. Like he could see the game. But I mean, I'm kind of with you, dude. There's I don't know what it is. But there's something missing. I think he has that dog in him. I don't think people give him enough of credit. I think he's a tough player. I think a lot of people think he's frail just because he kind of got gifted that All-American status, 5-star. Like it's been and I love LeBron, man. I think Bronny is a good player. I'm with you. I kind of think he's a year away, but it makes me so sick, man, to see that, he got that, the All-American spot over a kid that probably really deserved it because he's good, bro. His last season, though, at Sierra Canyon, he averaged, like 12 points? That's not like, bro, if you're a fucking All-American, unless you're on Montverde where, when they had like Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, all them guys at the same time, if you're a fucking 5-star, bro, you got to be averaging at least 20, 25 points. At least.
I think right now, Cooper Flagg is better than Bronny James.
I don't even think that's a debate, bro. That kid is, oh my God. That dude is ridiculous, bro. He's a generational talent. Like there's nothing that guy can't do. And I think he's grown a little bit more. I want to say he's like a solid 6'11" now, but Cooper Flagg, yeah. Cooper Flagg, I think is the number one player in his class. I think it's obvious that he's better than Bronny, but hell, we still see Bronny, getting so much more attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, Cooper Flagg, he is the best thing to ever come out of the state of Maine. Like, you guys better protect him with your life. He's like a couple hours from you, right? Like, was it Lenokus or some shit like that? What is it called?
Shit, hold on.
Yeah, look that shit up. It was something with like an IS at the end where he played. But I mean, now he's at Montverde. But yeah, bro, I know it's not gonna happen because there's no way the Celtics are gonna be that bad. I want to see him play in Boston, bro. A kid from Maine, a New England kid getting to play for the Nokomis. There you go. A New England kid getting to play for the Celtics, bro. That would be the equivalent of like maybe not as height, but D Rose, playing for Simeon in Chicago and then going and having that MVP year with the Bulls. Like Cooper Flagg. If he has a good NBA career, bro, he could go in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's really early to tell, but that dude is incredible. Like, there's no, Yeah, like he's good. And I didn't realize he has a twin brother too. I think his name's like Ethan. I might be, or like I forgot what his name is, but he has a twin brother that played for Nokomis as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to the question here.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to you, Ian, taking away rings, taking away all their accomplishments, who is the best player you've seen in a sport? Don't consider rings. Don't consider accomplishments.
Dude. No, I understand your question, but the funny thing is, when I was thinking of the question, I was low-key thinking of that exact same thing.
That's
just
funny.
the most talented player I've ever
In
seen.
any sport.
Fuck. I mean, if we could consider individuals like boxing, just anything.
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Fuck, dude. I was kind of thinking about this the other day. Fuck.
But
like
the
that.
hyperbole of this question is like you have to have seen them play. Not
So I
live,
can't-
but watch them.
Can't be like Babe Ruth.
Correct. You have to have watched them play. Or box.
I mean, can I have, like, are you talking about it has to be since I've born, or I've actually had to see video, or it has to be somebody since I've been born that I've watched like on TV?
That you have personally sat down and watched like a whole game, like a live game.
Okay. That's a fucking good question, bro. That's fucking good. I mean, dude, like, I don't know, bro. Like, oh my fucking damn, man. Fuck. I can't say Gretzky. I really didn't get to watch him play.
That'd have been an incredible answer, though.
Boudreaux, or what's his name? The dude from the fucking Blackhawks. That's not gonna be my answer. What's his name? Connor Boudreaux? Connor Bedard.
Oh, he's good.
That kid's fucking incredible, bro.
He's not even the best player in the NHL. Connor McDavid is for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, no, but I mean Bedard's a rookie though. But that was
Yeah,
just kind of
true.
spitballing. Dude, that's a fucking tough one, bro. Do you have an answer? I need to work on my answer for a second.
My answer would I've been going back and forth between two. That the best, just pure talent wise.
I think I know who one of the two is. I want to say one is Steph Curry.
No. Not for me. Not Steph Curry. No. Fuck no. No, I love Steph, but no, fucking absolutely not. I'm actually going back and forth now between four.
Dude, that was a really good question because, like, I want to say LeBron, bro, but like, I'm just like, know.
Here's the four that I'm going back and forth between. LeBron James, John Jones.
I was thinking that one too.
Floyd Mayweather or Patrick Mahomes.
The only one I didn't have on that one. Well, actually, I was thinking about all those four. But yeah, you said you're going back and forth between those four.
I'm going with LeBron as the most talented individual in his sport that I've ever seen. Because there's nothing on the floor that he couldn't do. He was an all-world defender, one of the best passers the game has ever seen, and he's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. Which, obviously, I'm not taking... You can't put accolades into it, I suppose, but...
Right.
It's LeBron, because he can shoot from outside. He's the best driver of the basketball the game has ever seen. His basketball IQ is impeccable. I'm going with LeBron James.
This is a good fucking question, bro. I'm gonna spend more time thinking about this shit than we actually spent fucking talking about football. I was low key back and forth between all four of those too. Really, I'm torn between three guys. Because Mahomes, I don't know. Like, I've seen Rodgers do shit to where I've seen Mahomes do shit Rodgers can, but those two, like, I guess you can make a. I'm back and forth between John Jones, Mayweather, and LeBron. Because Jones only lost like really early in his career, and he's just
he only lost because he got disqualified though.
Right, yeah, because he it was like his second, third fight of his career, right? Like it was really early in his career.
He was dropping elbows directly on his face or something like that against Big Country Nelson.
I don't know, bro. Like Mayweather. I gotta say Mayweather.
That's fair. That's a
I
fair answer. 50-0. That's undefeated in professional boxing. And one thing that I hate about the Mayweather hate is everyone's like, oh, he had no punching power. Like he didn't knock people out. It's like that's not the point of boxing. The
point is to
you're
win.
not trying to knock out your opponent. That's not the point of boxing. It's to win the fight.
And to hit and not get hit. And he does that better than anybody.
Exactly.
I just think Mayweather, bro, when it comes to mental focus, when it comes to in-fight adjustments, and just doing shit to where, like, I remember because when I first moved out here to Vegas, I was doing I was watching all his old fights, and there was one fight specifically. And to our Mixed Reactions crowd, if you guys haven't seen this, check it out. Mayweather against Diego Corrales. Corrales was probably a solid like 6'1", big lanky dude. Mayweather's probably 5'6". He terrorized him. Like the shit that Mayweather does, bro, all he does is run. That's why he went. That's so like it's just fucking ignorant, bro. Like any real boxers that I've ever talked to, they respect Mayweather's skill. Like the shit he does, bro, like just how fast he can dodge punches, how fast he can throw punches, that little shoulder roll. The only person that's ever really fought because if you think about it, Money Mayweather earlier in his career, he was an attacker, bro. He would light your shit up. He would
back when he was Pretty Boy Mayweather.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd. Like, and then he got older in his career, and he was like, okay, I don't have that same speed I used to. He beats everybody with technique. LeBron is up there for me too, bro. Like the shit he does with the ball, the shit that he sees on the floor, it's amazing. But at the same time, LeBron is also 6'8", 260, and if he really needs to, he could just carry somebody on his back and get an and one. Mayweather has had to there's been a few fights where Mayweather's been down after 3-4 rounds. At the end of the fight, there's been a couple. There was one there's one that he almost, it wasn't Diego Corrales, he killed him. It was not Antonio Margarito. He never fought him. It was who was it? There was one fight earlier in his career where he was like the only fight Mayweather lost. But other than that, bro, by the end of the fight, anybody who really knows boxing, and if you look at the CompuBox scores, he wins all those fights, bro. He gets hit, he hits, he doesn't get hit. Those other guys are usually winded by like the 12th round. And another thing I like about Mayweather, or 12 or 15, whenever they go to unboxing, one thing I like about Mayweather, man, is his mental focus. He understands the psychological game maybe better than anybody I've ever seen in any other sport. Oscar De La Hoya is a multiple-time world champion, multiple different divisions. He got in his head, bro. He made Oscar fight.
He did.
He made him fight angry. He made Mosley fight angry. He gets into guys' heads to where they're more focused on beating the shit out of them than they are with actually boxing, and like we were talking about earlier, hitting and not getting hit. He's a master of the psychological game, bro, and he brings in those big fights because he knows how to draw a crowd. I mean, who the fuck else would have the balls to wear a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo before they fight the Mexican boxing god? I would say probably Julio Cesar Chavez is the god, but before he fights De La Hoya, like I
agree.
He's the best with mental warfare. He's the best with in-fight adjustments. He's the best with pure skill and just fucking winning. I mean, he's never lost. Granted, he fought Pacquiao about 5 years after it was supposed to happen. Well, Pacquiao was over the hill. Pretty sure Mayweather was older than him, or Pacquiao was older by like a year. Like he's never lost. He's never really looked like, we've never gone into the last round of a Mayweather fight and been like, oh shit, if he doesn't get a knockout here, he loses. Nah. Like by the end of the fight, normally we're like, oh my God, another boring ass fight, and he wins.
Agreed. No, that's a great answer. I agree with that completely. We're sitting about an hour 20 for this show, Ian. Unfortunately, we probably got to wrap this up here. Another great show, dude. I cannot wait for next week so we can talk about the Super Bowl outcome. It's going to be a wonderful one. Mixed Reactions fans, we love you. Keep tuning in. I promise you we're going to keep providing this content. We're going to keep going until we make it. We're going to keep going until this thing blows up. And it's going to happen one day, Ian. Mark my words. This podcast will blow up one day, man. And we'll be sitting pretty. And I love to hear it. So to everyone listening, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. Unfortunately, Justin Duncan couldn't be here tonight. He'll be with us next week, hopefully.
Let's give him his picks before we get off.
That's right. Justin did give us the picks before we go. Mr. Duncan had the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game 31-14.
And what did he say something about if San Francisco wins?
He said yes. He says if San Fran happens to win, the score will be 28-24. His actual score pick is Kansas City 31-14.
Well, there you have it. If you go to Canada, don't forget to not gonna disrespect Coach Dunks. So what I'm just gonna say is if I need bail money, to all three of you listening, if you could really put it together this weekend to get me out of jail, because I'm getting fucked up. So yeah, man, we really appreciate, like Casey said, everybody listening to the show. Like we said, we've been improving every time. We're gonna keep going till we make it. We really appreciate all the positive feedback. We really appreciate all the engagement on the page. I know ever since we've had the page, my sports knowledge has gone through the roof just because we have so many knowledgeable people. So with that, this is Ian signing off from Las Vegas.
And of course,
Casey,
my sports knowledge is already impeccable, so I didn't need any knowledge. So have a good night.
Yep, as Ian signed off from Las Vegas, and Casey from the third world country of Maine, where they don't have McDonald's. Good night,
Fuck
Canada.
your mother.
The fuck?